Welcome to this episode of the Harpreet Singh Show. I'm your host Harpreet Singh from Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. In today's program, my guest is Dileep Nigam, a well-known motivational speaker. And today our focus will be on as to how to improve yourself in 2023 and what are those things in which you need to invest in 2023. So let's get over to our guest Dileep Nigam and continue with the discussion. So Dileep Nigam ji, good evening. Welcome to the program.
Good evening, Harpreet ji. Thanks for
How are you?
inviting me. Appreciate that.
Wonderful.
I'm
I
great,
hope
feeling great.
2023 is turning out to be a great year for you. And today, from your
Absolutely.
expertise, we would like to know that what are those five assets that we need to invest in 2023?
Harpreet ji, I would like to start with a short perspective
Mm-hmm.
about investment. So, 2017, I was attending a John Maxwell conference, who is my mentor and coach also in California, in Florida, US.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked a question from this stage. Write down on a piece of paper what is the biggest asset you own today, and share it with the team members on the team. So every table has about 10 people. And he asked us to share with people. So everybody wrote down something. So everybody wrote down, most of them wrote down the property value they have. Okay. Now he goes on, he says, great, keep it with you. Now I want to ask you a question. If Bill Gates was asked a question, what is the biggest asset Microsoft have today or Microsoft has today? What would be his answer? Would he start talking about the material assets he
No,
has or something else?
no, he'll be talking
His
about
answer
something
would
else.
be manpower. The
Absolutely.
material asset is not very critical. The material assets are created by the people who work for Microsoft.
Right.
And that is the invaluable asset they have. He says, all of you have written possibly without looking everybody's notepads. You possibly have written the properties value you own today, but no. What is critical is you need to understand you are your biggest asset. And if you need to grow in excel in life, you need to spend and invest, not spend, invest in the asset which is nothing but you yourself. So I'm today going to talk about five assets which you need to invest into, which will bring you to a next level of your success journey in 2022, and
So
which are
that's
very
great.
critical and they will continue to bear fruit for the rest of your life.
Right.
So the first step which I want to talk about is is your asset is what is your skill set. See, it's like this. As it is said, you are what you are today because of what you learned, studied, and experienced in the past. If you need to go to the next level of a success journey, you need to invest into your skill sets. Now, the what is the skill sets and how do we plan to do it? The skill sets would be that you need to identify, take a piece of paper and write down what are your core skill sets. So the first type of skill set is the core skill sets, which basically brings bread and butter on the bread on the table. So the core skill sets could be a programming skills or whatever. Now you also understand that, for example, a person in a medical profession. I have a nephew who is a doctor, and he every year attends a conference and he says, I have to do a minimum. He has been in the profession for over 20 years now. But he says every year I have to undertake certain courses to complete these many hours of study to continue to upgrade myself and to be a registered medical practitioner. Basically, upgrading of skills and continuous learning is very critical. So what you need to do, you need to take a piece of paper and put a column to create two columns on it. On the left side, write down your core strengths, and on the right side, write down your core weaknesses. What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? And allocate a score of 7 to 10. Allocate a score between 1 to 10 to all of your strengths. And likewise, on the weaknesses also allocate a score of between 1 to 10. Now let's talk about the strengths first. Today's word is not of mediocrity. If you're doing good, if you give your score self a score of 6 or 5 out of 10 to any of your core skills, that is not going to work for you if you want to progress in life. You need to work on those skill sets one at a time
Right.
to jack up your skill set from good to excellence. When you talk about, when you see, consider that you go for an interview, and I'm sitting in the interview board and I ask the person, tell me your USP. What is the differentiating factor which differentiates you from others? In 3 words, are you able to say that? If you are not clear about what you're strong at and you are not able to define yourself in 3 words, you will fall out. There'll be somebody else picked up. So, to be able to do that, you have to attain excellence in what you do,
Right.
whether it's programming or whatever skills you have. You need to be thorough and absolutely on the top notch to be able to win that journey on the skill set. So you need to commit time and energy to be able to win that journey going forward. Now, likewise, everybody has some weaknesses also. Now, weakness is not a bad thing as long as you know it and you work on it. The weakness will become a block in your succession and in your progression if you don't know it and you don't work on it.
Right.
Whether it's communication skill, whether it's a PR skill, whether it's emotional intelligence, whether it's cognitive flexibility, whatever it is, if you don't have that skill set, you will fail at some point in life. So today's word is a very different word. It's not just IQ, it's EQ.
Yeah.
Both are important. So you need to figure out what is that which is needed to bring you in the progression for next year. I give you a very simple example. Imagine that you are in the evening at home and you received a call from your boss. And the boss says, I have a good news for you. I'm going to make you the manager of the entire team and you'll be having 20 people reporting to you from tomorrow onwards. Now, what kind of expressions you have? Does it your heart start beating or you're jumping with joy? Yes, I can handle it. And if you're shivering and you're not ready for it,
Yeah.
today is the time to get ready for that.
All right.
So the message here is the first asset you need to build on is invest on is your core skill
Yourself.
set.
Excellent.
Yes, on yourself. Okay.
Yeah, let's go for
Yeah.
a break. We'll be back and we'll learn about the other 4 assets that we need to invest in. I will be shortly back and we'll continue with our discussion.
ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸਮੈਨ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਮੋਟਰਸ ਦੇ ਓਨਰ ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਨੂੰ ਵੇਖ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਇੰਟੈਲੀਜੈਂਸ ਦਾ ਉਦਾਹਰਨ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਾਰ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਖ ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਮੋਟਰਸ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਨੇ ਸਰੀ ਦਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲੋੜ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੋੜੀਂਦੇ ਟਰੱਕਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਗਾਈਡੈਂਸ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਸਪੇਸ ਮੋਡੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਫਿਊਲ ਐਫੀਸ਼ੀਐਂਸੀ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਟਰੱਕਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਟੌਰ
ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਰੀ ਡੈਲਟਾ ਰਿਚਮੰਡ ਐਬਸਫੋਰਡ ਜਾਂ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਵਾਂ ਘਰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਬਾਰੇ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਨੋਵੇਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਤਜਰਬੇਕਾਰ ਬਿਲਡਰ ਇੱਕ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟਿਵ ਇੰਟੀਰੀਅਰ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਰ ਦੀ ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਗਾਈਡ ਕਰ ਸਕਣ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸੁਪਨੇ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਉਸਾਰ ਸਕਣ ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਜਾਂ ਸੰਦੀਪ 6048259295 ਉੱਤੇ
ਘਰ ਇੱਕ ਐਸੀ ਥਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹਰ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਨਿੱਜੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਸੁਨਹਿਰੀ ਪਲ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰਿਆ ਜੀਵਨ ਬਤੀਤ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਪੂਰੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਜਦ ਕਿਸੇ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨੂੰ ਸਜੇ ਹੋਏ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਬਦਲਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ ਨਵੇਂ ਘਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਰੇਮਿੰਗ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਤੱਕ ਡ੍ਰੇਪਰੀ ਪੇਂਟਿੰਗਸ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਡੈਕੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਅਸੈਸਰੀਜ਼ ਤੱਕ ਤੁਸੀਂ SK ਹੋਮ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਰਵਿਸਿਜ਼ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੁਪਨਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਹਕੀਕਤ 'ਚ ਬਦਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰੋ ਸੰਦੀਪ ਕੌਰ 6048259295
ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ 5 ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਨਵੈਸਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ 2023 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਹੋ ਸਕੋ ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਦਲੀਪ ਨਿਗਮ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਮੋਟੀਵੇਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਪੀਕਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਜੌਨ ਮੈਕਸਵੈਲ ਦੇ ਇਹ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਨਾਮਵਰ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਹਜ਼ਾਰਾਂ ਹੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀਆਂ 'ਚ ਤਬਦੀਲੀ ਲਿਆਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਿ ਦਲੀਪ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਈਏ ਦੱਸ ਦਈਏ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ AMC ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਨਾਲ ਜੇਕਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੋਮ ਆਟੋ ਟਰੈਵਲ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਲਾਈਫ ਜਾਂ ਰਿਕ੍ਰੀਏਸ਼ਨਲ ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ ਲੈਣ ਦੀ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ 9 ਬ੍ਰਾਂਚਿਸ ਨੇ ਲੋਅਰ ਮੇਨਲੈਂਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਦੇ 7 ਦਿਨ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹੀਆਂ ਰਹਿੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਪ੍ਰਦਾਨ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਸਵੇਰੇ 9 ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਰਾਤ ਦੇ 9 ਵਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲਈ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ 604 507 6666 604 507 6666 ਸੋ ਆਓ ਵਾਪਸ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਦਲੀਪ ਨਿਗਮ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਫਸਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਿਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਨਵੈਸਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਨਵੈਸਟਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਦਲੀਪ ਜੀ once again welcome and what are the other steps that we need to follow
Yeah. The second investment area where you need to invest is a new skill set. Now, if I ask you a question, if I ask somebody a question, do you put all your eggs? How many baskets of eggs do you have if you have only one job and one skill set?
right
And can you sustain in this dynamic environment of economy? Disruption is a way of life. Today you have one job and tomorrow it might be redundant.
right
Suddenly out of the blue, the job is gone. The entire department is gone. What do? You need to figure out an alternative growth path while everything is good. See, it's like this. I say, you plant a tree and you don't need the fruits of it because giving you fruits takes time. I planted an apple tree in my backyard. It took 4 years before I could really see apples in it. And I share one story a little bit from my career path that I was in Singapore and I had worked for 22 years in the project management field. But I wanted to diversify. Now, job was going good, everything was fantastic, but I said, let me start investing some time and energy onto move towards supply chain management, which was something which was also close to my heart. I invested 4 years of my time in the evening classes and upgraded my skill set and specialized in supply chain management. The good part was I got a job because of that in a French multinational as a country commercial head, which was the best part of my career path. And I loved that before I moved to Singapore, to Canada. Just because I spend energy and time and money to upgrade myself into a totally new career path, that came handy. I could have continued in project management, but I wanted to digress somebody. Now, God's blessing, I did not lose a job and was not without a job. But today's situation is more volatile.
yeah
People have job today, tomorrow. It's a way of life. You have job today, you don't have job tomorrow. Identify something which you like to do, just close to your heart, and you want to invest time and energy onto it now
right
when you still have a good job in hand. So identify a second alternate career path. It's very, very critical that we commit to that, get trained on that. Now it could be needed today, or it allows you an opportunity to diversify to a new career path as you go forward. And in case something happens, you at least have an alternative career path in front
absolutely
of you.
absolutely times are changing and along with that
So
we also need to change because otherwise many times we see
yeah,
that in the IT industry or some other industry people just at the flick of a
yeah,
second they lose their jobs and they have nowhere to go and it becomes very difficult at that time
yeah, exactly. See, BlackBerry is where is BlackBerry today? Where is Nokia today when iPhone came in, right?
yeah
The point is the technology is moving so fast, the world is so dynamic and transforming so fast that before you know your job, the job you love the most is gone, completely gone. You need to prepare for it today. And when your job is okay, you're making good money, but you have to invest some time and energy onto that. This is the second investment we need to do. The third investment we need to do is learn a new soft skill. Okay, and I want to talk about some statistics here. The World Economic Forum lists down 10 top skills needed to thrive in the fourth industrial revolution. I will just read them quickly. Complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, people management, coordination with others, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, service orientation, negotiation, and cognitive flexibility. And to add to this, as per LinkedIn, the top 5 soft skills needed by most companies in 2020 were creativity, persuasion, collaboration, adaptability, and emotional intelligence. The question is look at these skills, these are all soft skills, and identify which skill set you can allocate yourself more than between 7 to 10 score.
Right.
And you'll be surprised that a lot of them you fall short. Now, discuss with your coach or a mentor or your boss, anybody. Say, what is a skill for the future? I have written an article recently published. If a new tool into your kitty, success kitty, is emotional intelligence.
Right.
I published on LinkedIn and Facebook pages also, and it's published on the book on the Medium electronic journal also. Why emotional intelligence? What is emotional intelligence? How many people know it, and how many people practice emotional
Yeah.
intelligence to excel in life? You may have very high scores that possibly gives you a high IQ, but if you are a person who has a high IQ and a high EQ, will definitely surpass you at any time.
Right.
You might be in the same company at the same time, but he will beat you because he exactly knows how to manage people and how to connect with people and how to relate to people.
Right.
So you identify these skill sets, which one you feel you need to work on. And this data is available, all available. You can pick out and identify which one you want to work on.
Right.
The third asset you need to invest on soft skills. I tell you something, Harpreet, when I came to Canada,
G.
I had more than about 44 years, 34 years, 36 years of experience, or 34 years of experience in the industry through India, Singapore, and I landed here.
Yeah.
And after 1 year, I appeared for an interview in Canada. And my employer, the interview went around, and that was a senior management position. And they asked the questions, 60% of questions asked were related to people management and soft skills.
Right.
And they asked me to actually substantiate my control and pick on soft skills. And they evaluated the entire case of various competing people based on the skill set and how thorough they were on the skill sets, soft skill sets. So going forward, this is very vital, especially if you are going towards senior management.
Yeah.
Is a super critical that you have a good grip on the soft skill set and you hone yourself. So
Times
that
are
was
changing,
the
and
third.
along with that, you have to change to keep up pace with what's happening. And if you want to succeed, you need
Yep.
to adopt these skills in yourself so that you become successful.
Yep.
So, Dileep, what are the fourth and fifth assets in which we need to invest? Let's go for a break. We'll be back and we'll learn from you about these points.
ਹਰ ਰੰਗ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ, ਹਰ ਮਾਡਲ, ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਦੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਪਹਿਚਾਣ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਹਾਂ, ਸਾਡਾ ਕਰਮ ਹੈ ਅੱਗੇ ਵਧਾਉਣਾ, ਸਫ਼ਰ ਨੂੰ ਸੌਖਾ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ। ਬਸੰਤ ਮੋਟਰਸ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕਰਕੇ।
है जुल्म ढाने का अंदाज भी कितना हंसी, हमारी जान पर बनाई है जब जब उसने अंगड़ाई ली। कभी खामोश रहते हैं, कभी शोर होता है। मोहब्बत में शरारत का मजा कुछ और होता है। दिल को जज्बात का तोहफा, खामोशियों को बात का तोहफा, खूबसूरती में जड़ी नजाकत अदाओं की चांद से मुखड़े को चांद सा तोहफा।
भारत ज्वेलर्स, सच्चे प्यार की चमक जैसा। पाई बिजनेस सेंटर सरी।
ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਅਗਨੀਹੋਤਰੀ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਜੇਕਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਵੇਂ ਹੋ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ, ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਆਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਅੰਤਰਰਾਸ਼ਟਰੀ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀ ਹੋ, ਸਪਾਂਸਰ ਕਰਨੇ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਜਾਂ ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ, ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ ਨੀਰਾ ਅਗਨੀਹੋਤਰੀ, ਜੋ ਕਿ 2006 ਤੋਂ ਸਰਟੀਫਾਈਡ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਕੰਸਲਟੈਂਟ ਵਜੋਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਓਨੈਸਟ ਤੇ ਰਿਲਾਇਬਲ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇਣ ਦਾ ਵਾਅਦਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲਈ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ 6045972284 604 597 2284। ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਨੇ ਦਿਲੀਪ ਨਿਗਮ, ਇੱਕ ਜਾਣੀ ਪਛਾਣੀ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ, ਤੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੋਟੀਵੇਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਉਹ 5 ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ 'ਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਨਵੈਸਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਸ ਸਾਲ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਹੋ ਸਕੋ। ਸੋ ਵੀ ਹੈਵ ਟੱਚ 3 points and let's learn from him what's the fourth asset in which you need to invest. ਜੀ ਦਿਲੀਪ ਜੀ।
So, Harpreet ji, the fourth asset which we need to invest is health equity. We have all heard health is wealth.
Yeah.
But there are various aspects of health. We need to figure out, first of all, be clear in our mind that health is very vital. I remember I want to go back to 1993 when I went to Singapore first time. A first world country lifestyle, and I really embraced a very sedentary lifestyle. I was going to the office, sitting on the desk for the whole day, coming back home, taking dinner, have a big scoop of ice cream, vanilla ice cream, watch the TV soap opera, and go to sleep. And one day, out of the blue, after 3 months, I went to a random blood work with the doctor based on the doctor's advice. And the results came, and doctor called me. He said, Mr. Dilip, you better tighten your belts and better change yourself a little bit and modify your lifestyle. I give you 3 months to modify your lifestyle and correct your parameters. My HDL was high, HDL was low, LDL was high, my triglycerides were high, everything was out of range. And I promised him, I said, I promise you I'm going to change it. You know, ice cream was stopped immediately. You know, ice cream was stopped immediately. Morning jogging, evening walking after dinner became a way of life. Eating habits were completely changed and tried to control it. And 3 months down the road, when I went to the doctor for recheck, he smiled. He says, congratulations, you reversed the trend. You're all within, your parameters are all within control. But that day, I understood one thing, that I don't need a doctor to tell me
Oh, yeah.
that life, if you want a good life, you need a good health. What will you do with the money you make if you don't have a good health? You don't need to be going to the hospital and doctors with all those hassles and life. And I also understood one thing very clearly, that prevention is better than cure. When something happens, I have to go to the hospital and they can only try to cure it or reverse the effect of it to a certain extent, but they cannot reverse it completely because the damage is already done. So it's very vital to identify what all do you feed yourself, your body. And there are three things I realize which I've been practicing for multiple years now: food, water, and air. We decided we put a conscious effort and, of course, back up with a regular exercising regime. Just to tell you a bit about our own regime, health regime, my we get up early in the morning and drink 500 to 1 m. Now, and I'm not expecting everybody to follow this. This is my lifestyle. This is what I changed. I never used to do this. I have started doing it, and for many years I'm doing it. Early morning, I get up and empty stomach, I will drink 500 to 1 liter of water. We make it warm in these cold days, and we will drink it empty stomach.
Right.
Come down. I will not drink any tea or coffee in the morning till such time I finish my 35 to 40 minutes of yoga, pranayam, and stretching exercises. If it's cold, I'll be doing it home. If it's not, it's a warm summer, I will just step out. Apart from exercises, I'll step out and do jogging or brisk walking. Okay. I will make sure I complete at least average of 5 to 10,000 steps per day. Sometimes could be 6,000, could be 7,000 also, but I aim for 10,000 steps per day of walking. Okay, to burn certain calories. In the summertime, I'll definitely start going to the gym again, possibly sooner, and start spending 45 minutes to 1 hour at the gym. Okay.
Right.
I move towards organic food. Now, there could be different notions about it. People might say, why organic and all that? No. Okay, fine. That's your choice. My pick is I will go to USDA certified organic food as far as possible. It's better than taking all those foods impregnated with pesticides and all those stuffs, right? So I consciously we look for organic foods. If we pay more, doesn't matter. That's investment onto my health. I invested. I said another very critical thing is air. We breathe and feed into your body. Although Canada offers, Vancouver has a very good air quality, but despite that, there are many pollutants inside the house. And there are proven statistics that the air quality inside the house is worse than the air outside.
Right.
So we installed air purification systems in my home, which purify air to a very high quality. HEPA filters, and we installed. It's a portable. Wherever you want to put it, you can put it. Invest into that. And last but not the least was a water purification system. which is backed by UV purification system. We drink pure water, quality water,
Right.
because even on that, people have different notions. People says, "Wow, Vancouver quality water is very good."
Right.
I'm not disputing that, but when did you last know the pipes through which the water is coming to your home was actually cleaned or flush cleaned? It doesn't happen. Microorganisms come from there, and you keep drinking it. I make sure the microorganisms and all those bacteria and viruses which flow through water unknowingly are cleared.
Right.
I invested into that, and of course, back it. The question is, are you doing that? Or identify your own health issue
Absolutely.
and practice and give importance to that.
Right.
These are just some tips which I follow, and I have given that. But
Okay.
again, it's up to the people to figure out what they want to do.
Right.
And the last is invest in social capital. What is social capital? The network. You know, Facebook, just to give us statistics, Facebook bought, if Facebook bought WhatsApp for $19 billion in 2014. Why did they buy it for 2014? In 2014 for $19 billion. That was one of the biggest deals ever conducted in the corporate history. They paid for 500 million people, subscribers of WhatsApp, which by 2020 became 2 billion. Now, that is the asset value. Now, do we have social asset? We do have social asset. We have LinkedIn, we have Facebook, we have multiple people on our network. Are you leveraging it to your benefit?
Right.
Be a part of the network. I tell just to tell you the reality, my daughter-in-law, when they moved to Canada, she didn't even apply for a job, and she got a top-notch job through her connection with LinkedIn. My son moved from Toronto with zero connections over here in Vancouver. Zero connections. He started networking and meeting top financial executives from C-level people in the financial industry in Vancouver, asking for tea meetings with them, sending his CV, and he wants to say, I want to have a tea meeting with you.
Right.
Many people offered it, many people did not. He got a job because of that. Network has a lot of power. Don't take it as remove the taboo that networking is bad. Network is good. Remove the hesitation to go to group meetings and network meetings.
Right.
Meet people there, exchange cards with them, and create a network. You don't know which person from which network will come handy to you.
Absolutely. It's rightly said the network is net worth. So the kind of
Network
people
is
you
net
meet,
worth.
the
You
kind of
said it.
people you talk with and
Just go
interact
and
with.
meet people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Just do that.
Right.
So these are my 5 assets recommended to invest in 2023, and they'll go a long way to create a success path in 2023 as well as going forward, in fact, for the rest of the life.
Interesting and excellent. Mr. Nigam, thank you very much for your time and getting these points forward, and we hope our viewers can benefit from what you have said, because these are proven things, and you are a testimony to that you have adopted these things on yourself and you have reached wherever you wanted to reach. And of course, everybody wants to go further on, and the best thing is keep on learning and keep on further stepping on the stage. Thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, RPG. Thanks for inviting me. Appreciate
Bye-bye.
that.
ਸੋ ਇਹ ਸਨ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਦਲੀਪ ਨਿਗਮ, ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਜੋ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਕਿ 5 ਉਹ ਐਸੈਟਸ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਨਵੈਸਟ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਨਵੈਸਟ ਕਰੋ। ਆਓ ਵੇਖੀਏ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਨਵੈਸਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਕਿੰਨੀ ਕੁ ਮਾਇਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਲਈ, ਕੁਝ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲਈ। Times are changing, and so with that we also have to change. The things which used to work in the previous times probably are not working today. So with the changing times, let's change ourselves and start investing in ourselves, and then see the results and reach the pinnacle of success where we want to go. Thank you very much for sparing your valuable time and being a part of this program. If you want to be a part of this program, if you know someone who can add on to the knowledge of people, because the purpose of this program is to educate you, inspire you, and to empower you. So you can contact me through WhatsApp 604-603-7555, or you can email me at harpreetsingshow@gmail.com. With your support, this program is now being watched all over the world, and we are really grateful to you for coming forward and listening to the programs every day from 6 p.m. onwards, Monday to Friday. So thank you very much once again. इथे ही करते हैं प्रोग्राम की समाप्ति, फिर मुलाकात करेंगे. Have a safe evening, stay healthy and enjoy yourself.